last week's episode, we talked about the concept of deep ecology. For this week, we're going to talk about several deep ecology activities that you can engage in. As you watch this episode, think about the following questions. Where does your drinking water come from? Where do you get most of your food? How far is your food shipped to your local market? You can find this out by looking for labels that indicate the food's point of origin. You don't have to do an itemized list of each item in your grocery cart. The idea here is to simply gain awareness of how far the food is shipped using fossil fuels to transport it. You may wish to pick one or two items at random and see how far they have traveled on their journey to your table. Are there local alternative options for your food? Where do your clothes come from? Are your clothes made of natural or synthetic fibers? Think about the home in which you live. Are there any changes you could make to reduce your home's carbon footprint? Ponder these questions. Investigate the answers to them. You may be surprised at what you find out. The third sacred pillar of the Black Mountain Druid Order specifies service to the grove, to the community, and to the world at large. With that in mind, living sustainably so that we may minimize the impact on the earth, our mother, is a tenet of and a requirement of membership in the Black Mountain Druid Order. This means that a grove in the Black Mountain Druid Order is automatically an environmental group, because our groves work towards cultural change, towards deep ecology, and towards sustainable living. So if you're a member of a grove, you're already in an environmental group. If you're not in one of our groves and would be interested in starting one, the Black Mountain Druid Order offers free assistance and guidance, plus a free listing of your grove in our online directory on our website at blackmountaindruidry.com. You may also wish to consider joining another environmental group. One way that it's possible to make a difference by living out Druidry is by increasing awareness of ecological issues in your local area. Are there any environmental groups in your area? If so, how could you become involved? If not, what would it take to start one? It could be as simple as planting trees or picking up litter once a year through an Adopt a Highway program. Since deep ecology and sustainable living are parts of the Black Mountain Druid Order, you might also consider starting a grove of your own within our order. The third sacred pillar involves service to the grove, to the community, and to the world. One of our service acts, as an order, is to promote deep ecology. So as we already mentioned, a grove is an environmental group. If you're interested in doing so, there will be information on the website at blackmountaindruidorder.com on how to start your own grove. And there's also a forums section on the website where you can get more information from our members. Consider joining an environmental group. If there's not one in your area, consider starting one. There's no cost to create a grove within our order, and when you create a grove, you have a free listing. You can learn more at our website, blackmountaindruidry.com. Are you interested in nature-centered spirituality? Are you looking to learn more about contemporary Druid practices? Did you know that the Black Mountain Druid Order has a free course in Druidry? Our foundational Druidry course covers the Wheel of the Year, basic herbalism, the Ogham alphabet, meditation, dream work, and vision seeking. It also teaches you how to begin doing your own shadow work. You'll also explore some rites of passage celebrated by our order. The foundational Druidry course is always free, and you're under no obligation to join our order if you decide that the way of the Druid is not for you. Find out more by visiting Black Mountain Druid Order's website at blackmountaindruidorder.com. Too much of our society is oriented towards bigger, better, faster, more expensive. We get caught up sometimes in having more and having it now. Sometimes we forget what we're doing and for whom we're doing it. Jesse Jackson once said, "Children want our presence, not our presence." I think that if we slow down a little, learn to experience nature and each other, to get reacquainted with our families, then this race for far more stuff will loosen its hold in our lives. Maybe instead of the latest video game, our children would rather have us take time to take them on a hike in the woods once in a while. Maybe instead of staring at the television after work, we could take our mates on a stroll through the park. Maybe instead of taking the family to the mall, we could all get together and start a backyard garden. Sustainable living is also about freeing up time and monetary resources so there's more time for family. It's about leaving a world for our children that's in better shape than it was when we inherited it from our parents. This doesn't necessarily mean accumulating more material goods. This could also mean creating more sustainable relationships with each other, just as much as it means creating a more sustainable environment. Ultimately, what happens to the earth happens to its inhabitants. We are all part of many circles that make up the greater circle of life, and the earth is our home. What we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. In the long run, sustainable living means treating ourselves in a better way by treating our home, the earth, in a better way. How many ways can you live more ecologically and sustainably? Think of some things you can do and pledge to do them for at least a year. Denying the darkness gives it power over us, but exploring it and reclaiming it gives us power over it. Black Mountain Druidry is the official television show of the Black Mountain Druid Order. The Black Mountain Druid Order has been doing shadow work since the late 1990s. How do you do shadow work? What can you learn from it? How can it help you? Come explore these questions and more with us on Black Mountain Druidry. Don't be afraid of the dark. In this episode of Black Mountain Druidry, we're introducing a new segment called Animal Wisdom. In this section, we'll be discussing different spirit animals. In ancient times, druids were restricted to certain geographical locations, and many of the animals listed here did not live in the lands where druids dwelled. In modern times, however, there are druids all around the world, so we will be including some of the more common spirit animals from around the world in this segment. We will start off the segment with the aardvark. The aardvark represents self-reliance, solitude, and nocturnal energy. Aardvarks are loners who survive by burrowing for food. If aardvark is your spirit animal guide, you're proficient at digging up hidden information. You may prefer to go your own way instead of following the pack, and you prefer the night hours to the daylight hours. Aardvarks are definitely not morning people. Aardvarks survive in the desert regions of Africa. So if aardvark is your spirit animal, it means you're a survivor who needs alone time. You can be gregarious if you must, but you also need to go off onto the wilderness for some me time to recharge your batteries. Aardvarks use their long, agile tongues to feed on termites and other insects. If aardvark is your guide, you have the gift of a clever tongue. You can generally persuade people to your viewpoint, and you're probably quite eloquent at public speaking or at the art of conversation. Aardvarks spend a lot of time digging into the earth. Because of this, they tend to be well-grounded, down-to-earth types, not given to whims or flights of fancy. They have a lot of common sense and don't mind sharing it. The word aardvark literally means earth pig, and so aardvark shares some characteristics with pigs and boars, the chief among these being digging for food and creating burrows for shelter. They're both strongly connected to the element of earth, and so their power is that of protecting and defending the home front. They're strong protectors and know how to look after their own. Aardvarks have sensitive hearing and are therefore also good listeners. If aardvark is your spirit animal, you'll have strong ties to your ancestral roots and may enjoy genealogy as a hobby. Family history is important to you, and you love digging up stories about the past, especially where your relatives are concerned. This tendency can sometimes be a double-edged sword because sometimes the past is buried for a reason, and aardvarks generally know all the family secrets. If aardvark is your animal, you are a strong, independent survivor who works a lot with the energies of rebirth, regrowth, and regeneration. This is another new segment that we're introducing on this episode of Black Mountain Druidry. In this segment, we'll be talking about gods and goddesses. The first god we'll be talking about is Apelio. Apelio is a god who is worshipped primarily in southwestern France. Some scholars believe that he may have been the Celtic version of Apollo. He may also be a sun god. He rules over knowledge and learning. His sacred trees are apple trees, and the name Apelio means apple. He is the god of the apples. The salmon of knowledge is his sacred animal. He also has a special link to Avalon. The name Avalon means Isle of the Apples. Invoke Apelio before undergoing a prolonged learning experience. If Apelio enters your life, you're about to enter a period of expanded creativity and soul-searching. The book Foundational Druidry in the Black Mountain Druid Order is our manual for training those new to the Druid path. It was written as a companion piece to our free online Foundational Druidry course and teaches you what it means to be a contemporary Celtic shaman. In this book, you'll learn about deep ecology, herbalism, animal wisdom, meditation, dream work, and vision seeking. You'll also learn about Celtic gods and goddesses, some rites of passage practiced by our order, and holidays celebrated by contemporary Druids as we honor the Wheel of the Year. A portion of all sales goes towards funding the work of our order, helping our members to develop in mind, body, spirit, and emotion through the way of the Druid.
Living on my own, I don't know what it means. I've been here before, trying to live my dreams. The world beyond the veil is there for all to see, but still we close our eyes, ignore the mystery. And I can't believe the wasted time. The years weigh heavy on my mind. I don't know what we hope to find inside. Once there was a way to live in harmony. Once there was a way to prosper and be free. The goddess taught us well. Somehow we lost our way. We fell beneath the spell, and the spirit fell away. And I can't believe the wasted time. The years weigh heavy on my mind. I don't know what we hope to find inside. Someday we may return to the bosom of the earth, the spirit of the land, the home of our rebirth. The time it ticks away, the longer that we wait. I hope we mustn't learn we can't escape our fate. And I can't believe the wasted time. The years weigh heavy on my mind. I don't know what we hope to find inside.
The Awan of Fire meditation is used to seek the Awan in matters associated with universal or absolute truth and ultimate meaning. It is helpful when you seek direction and purpose in your own life. The direction of the fire is the south. It may help when performing this meditation to face south if possible. The season associated with the Awan of Fire is the summer. As you begin this meditation, visualize the noonday sun on the first day of summer, or Midsummer's Day. On this day, between the light and dark halves of the year, the forces of chaos and order are in perfect balance. It's the best time to do work concerning transformation and change. The power of the Awan of Fire is the power of transformation and change. As you do this meditation, picture yourself in a thick, lush forest. All around you are the flora and the fauna, which are changing with the growing power of the season. Smell the aroma of the flowers of the forest on the breeze. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face and the cool textures of the earth beneath your feet. Hear the wind in the trees and the songs of the birds who dwell in the forest as you sink more deeply into the meditation. The Awan of the Fire is the Awan of art, creativity, and clarity in the light of wisdom. What action do you need to take in your own life to bring about clarity, creativity, and transformation? The Awan of the Fire is the Awan of universal truth and objective meaning. As you allow the inspiration of the Awan of Fire into your consciousness, ponder what absolute truths might give clarity to your journey. Perhaps you don't believe in absolute truth. If that's the case, ask yourself this: is it absolutely true that there are no absolute truths? The Awan of the Fire is the Awan of the artisan. Allow the inspiration of the Awan of Fire to burn within your conscience, transforming your mind with its wisdom. Like the fires of the blacksmith's forge, allow this transformative power of the Awan of Fire to burn away any impurities from your own consciousness, so that you may achieve clarity and truth in your endeavors. As you allow the metamorphosis of the Awan of Fire to work its magic on your soul and your spirit, ask yourself these questions and allow the Awan to answer. What transformation do you seek in your own life? How can the awan of fire lead you to the truths that will allow this change to take place? What can you do to forge new instruments and tools in your own walk that will create truth and wisdom on your path? The artisan knows the ways of all things and uses them to create her art. How can the awan of fire lead you to the ultimate meanings behind the artistry of your own sacred path? What universal truths might you find along the way? Lu of the Long Hand rules the awan of fire. Lu is called Samuldanak, meaning equally skilled in all the arts. He is a true Renaissance man in that he knows the ways of all arts. According to the lore, when Lu was a young man seeking his fortune in the world, he called upon the court of King Nua, seeking employment. The gatekeeper asked Lu what skills he possessed that might serve the king. Lu named off his skills one by one, and each time the gatekeeper answered that King Nua already had someone serving in that capacity. Finally, Lu asked the gatekeeper if the Tuatha had anyone who could serve all of those skills at the same time. The gatekeeper was forced to admit that they did not, and Lu was granted admission to the court of Nua. Lu thus joined the court and was appointed Olaf Aaron, a title that means the most great or the most skilled of Ireland. What skills do you possess that might grant you admission into the court of the children of Danu? How might the awan of fire lead you to develop these skills in perfect truth and perfect wisdom? How will you use your skills and talents to transform yourself? To transform others? To transform the world? Daniel's gift from the Awen of the Fire is the Spear of Lu. No battle was ever sustained against it, or against any man or any woman who held it. What is your Spear of Lu? What invincible metamorphosis can the Awen of Fire bring to you? What talents and skills do you possess that the Awen of Fire can forge into steel? How might Lu's Spear of Skill and Truth aid you in your quest for the ultimate truth and meaning in your life? As this meditation draws to a close, give thanks to Lu for the spear of invincibility he has bestowed upon you. When you are at peace, end this meditation and know that you have forged a spear today in the fires of the Awen that will help your talents, skills, and gifts to serve you in absolute truth and ultimate creativity.
Hi, this is Shinka Skane, Chief of the Black Mountain Druid Order. If you're enjoying Black Mountain Druidry, don't forget to subscribe and leave any comments or questions below. You can learn more about the Black Mountain Druid Order or become a member by visiting the website at blackmountaindruidorder.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, blessings of the ancestors on you and yours.